talking about the solution to the equality problem from Codechef January Long Challenge 2020. Let's read out the problem. The problem says, Chef Aditi keeps changing the flavor of her dishes and she wants to analyze feedback from her customers in order to improve her performance. The customers visiting Aditi's restaurant can rate the food online and Aditi knows an aggregated rating for each day. As she is busy cooking, you should perform the data analysis. Actually, this simply says that Aditi is having the average review data for every day, feedback data for every day. For aggregated data, whatever, right? Now the question statement begins from here. You are given a sequence a1 a2 up to an. a1 a2 an, these denote the rating for each day, right, of n days, of distinct integer denoting the customer's feedback during n days. You should process q queries. In each query you are given two integers, capital L and capital R. Consider any contiguous subsequence. Contiguous subsequence is actually nothing but a substring sort of thing. As in a string, there is a substring, continuous ai plus 1, ai plus 2, so on and so forth till some aj. That's what a contiguous subsequence is. Now where p and q lies between L and R, both inclusive, always p is less than q. That means a single length subsequence is not valid. Let's call it a maximal increasing subsequence if the following condition holds. So when we will call a given contiguous subsequence a maximal increasing subsequence, if these three conditions holds, that is, all the integers from left to right are in increasing order, strictly increasing order, and secondly, if p is greater than L, that means it's not equal to L, then this condition must hold, that ap should be less than ap minus 1, right? And this condition, if q is less than R, right, then this condition must hold, that aq should be greater than aq plus 1. Alright, so it simply says that you need to find a complete subsequence which is increasing. You cannot take a subset of that increasing subsequence. You should take complete subsequence string which is increasing. Or similarly, let's define a maximal decreasing subsequence. This is how the maximal decreasing subsequence can also be defined, right? Now you should find out if the number of maximal increasing subsequence is equal to the number of maximal decreasing subsequence, with pq in the range capital L and capital R and p less than q, right? Now for example, if this example you can see by yourself, right? Let's take for example, if a is 10, 20, 30 and 5, you can see that only maximal increasing subsequence for this sequence for L equals to 1 and R equals to n is 10, 20, 30. Yes, because all of R are distinct and in increasing order. Now since 10, 20 we cannot take, why? Because the third condition is violated. Why? Because q is less than R, but aq is not greater than aq plus 1, it's smaller, right? And why we cannot take 20, 30? Because p is greater than L, but ap is less than ap minus 1. Is not ap is not less than ap minus 1, right? So the second condition is not satisfied, and there is only one maximal decreasing subsequence, that is 30 and 5, right? Alright, let's go through the inputs. The first line of the input contains two space separated integers, capital N and capital Q. The second line contains n space separated integers, that is the reviews of people every day, and q line follows. For each line you are given two space separated integers L and R describing a query. Now how we should output the answer for each query? We need to print a single line containing the string yes if the number of maximal increasing contiguous subsequence is equal to the number of maximal decreasing contiguous subsequence, right, or no otherwise. Now you can see the constraints, that n is up to 10 to the power 5, q is up to 10 to the power 5, ai can be up to 10 to the power 9, L and R lies between 1 and n, and L is always less than R, and ai, a1, a2 up to an are pairwise distinct. All the ratings on every day are distinct. This is important. As I'm going to tell you the solution, you will find that this is really important. Okay, let's move on to the discussion of how to solve this problem. this problem says that in any range L to R, let's suppose this is L and this is R, what we want is that the number of increasing subsequence should be equal to the number of decreasing subsequence, right? So if you see that, let's suppose this rising peak, rising line denotes the increasing subsequence, this declining line denotes the decreasing subsequence, right? Decreasing maximal subsequence. So if we count the number of maximal increasing and maximal decreasing subsequence, in this case we find that 1 1 2 2, this 1 is for increasing subsequence, this 2 is for increasing subsequence, this 1 is for decreasing, and this 2 is for decreasing subsequence, right? 3 and 3. All right, so we find out that here the number of increasing and decreasing subsequence are equal. What if the case is like this? There is some increasing subsequence, decreasing subsequence, increasing subsequence, decreasing subsequence, and then increasing subsequence, right? If you find out number of increasing, decreasing subsequence in here, we'll find out that 1 1 2 increasing, 2 decreasing, but 3 increasing. So here simply we can see that there are 3 increasing subsequence but 2 decreasing subsequence. So in this case the answer is no. So actually I guess you have seen the observation. The observation simply says that if the range L comma R starts with some increasing subsequence, increasing maximal subsequence, then it should end with decreasing maximal subsequence, then always it will gonna be the answer will be always gonna be yes. Yes, you can see the observation. Why? Because every time if you wanted to end at you start with a increasing subsequence and end with a decreasing subsequence, right? You will find out that you will end up with the same number of increasing and decreasing subsequence. But what if you start with the increasing subsequence and you will also end with this increasing subsequence? You can find out that the number of increasing subsequence is going to be greater than the number of decreasing subsequence. Similarly the case with decreasing subsequence. If you start with a decreasing subsequence and if you end up with an increasing subsequence, you will find that the number of decreasing maximal subsequences will be equal to the maximal increasing subsequence. But what if we start with a maximal decreasing subsequence but we will end up with again a maximal decreasing subsequence? In that case you will find out the number of maximal decreasing subsequence and maximal increasing subsequence will be different. Alright, so this is all about this question. This is how this question can be solved. Let's discuss the approach, how we can code this problem. Now let's see how we can implement the discussed approach in coding. So actually we need to only check for the elements at L and L plus 1 and at R and R minus 1. This is all we need to check during coding. Actually if let's say A is the array, A at L is found to be greater than A at L plus 1, then simply we can say that this is a decreasing subsequence, right? Alright, if A at L is found to be less than A at L plus 1, right, we can say that this is an increasing subsequence. Why there is no equality? Because according to the question all the array elements are distinct, right? Similarly for A at R, if this value is found to be greater than A at R minus 1, right, that means this is an increasing subsequence. Otherwise if A at R minus 1 is found to be, or let's say A at R is less than A at R minus 1, then it is a decreasing subsequence, right? So this is all about the coding part. We will check for these conditions and we need to check if we are starting with the decreasing subsequence, then we must end with increasing subsequence to have a yes answer, and if we are starting with an increasing subsequence we must end with a decreasing subsequence, to have an yes answer, otherwise the answer will be no, right? Now let's move on to the code. I'll be coding in C++ language. Bit/standard C++.h is a library which includes all the headers in your file, right? So you need to worry about the headers. Now in this question we have two inputs n and q. Then we will be having an array of size n. We'll take input of previous for all days, right? Here are I. Now for each query, right, we will be having two integers L and R as input, which is the range in which we need to find out whether the number of maximal increasing and decreasing subsequences are equal or not, right? So we'll take input of L and R. Now, as I told you in the explanation, all we need to check is that L and R with L plus 1 and R with R minus 1. So if array at L is found to be greater than array at R, L minus 1, L plus 1. So in this condition, one thing is clear, that it is a decreasing subsequence at starting. So if array R is found to be greater than array R minus 1, that means it's an increasing subsequence, then the answer will be yes, right? Else answer will be no for this case, right? Similarly, if array L is found to be less than array L plus 1, that means is an increasing subsequence in the starting. So if array R is found to be less than array R minus 1, right, R minus 1, that means it's a decreasing subsequence in the ending. So answer will be yes. Else answer will be no. So this is all about this question. Let's try to submit it. Whether we are wrong at some point, let's check it out. So guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my videos. I want your support. Let's see whether there is any error in the code. Alright, there must be some error. For Codechef we have L and R. L is found to be greater than AL plus 1. Alright, L and R are one base indexes, so we need to take or make L equals L minus 1 and R equals R minus 1 for our case, right? Let's try to submit it again. Yes, you need to take care of every single condition in the code, otherwise you will be getting the wrong answer verdict. Let's check out whether this time we are correct or not. Yes, this is all because we are using the zero based indexing and the question is using one based indexing, so we just simply make L equals to L minus 1 and R equals to R minus 1. Thank you for watching. Please guys, do share, like and subscribe my videos and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. Thank you. Bye bye.